Hello everyone, I'm Christine Eyres, the author of No Use Crying Now, a book that follows a woman's search for redemption in the rugged northwest of Australia. I hope you enjoy. Chapter 1, A Fallen Woman. In 1965, Doog became pregnant. Fell pregnant, they said, and then came a string of labels she was made to wear like a leaden necklace of ugly signs, so the world would know she was a fallen woman. Except she wasn't a woman, she was still a girl, and she was exiled before the world had time to know anything. The doctors, nurses, church officials, a social worker, even her own parents called her unfit for motherhood, selfish, precocious, incapable of caring for a child, the ruination of a young man's life, immoral, immature, neurotic. They said it was in the baby's best interest to be placed with a normal family, with a real mother and father. Forget him, they said, forget that any of it ever happened. And then they put a syringe in her arm. She woke up screaming for him, but her baby was gone. They sent her home to resume the life from which she had been banished, a life of secrets and silence. Doog can't forget. The grief returns over and over again. It is with her now as she sits in the ute outside the Sandy Bay post office, 25 years later. Seagulls on the pavement in front of the car thrust out indignant necks and screech as they fight over chips dropped by a child. They claw her mind away from the memories and back to the present. The rusty corrugations of the roof of the small post office blur in a mirage of heat. Her eyes fuse on to the mustard-coloured paint blistering on weatherboard walls. Every fortnight, Doog drives to Sandy Bay to pick up supplies for Badara station, where she's employed as a governess. She enjoys the break from the station, but the small town still retains the memory of a night all those years ago. When she first came to work at Badara, driving on her own through this empty land had terrified Doog. Not now. Now she drives across the endless station country towards where the great bowl of the sky upends onto the flat line of the horizon, windows down, singing at the top of her voice like a madwoman. No one to hear, no one to judge. Being out in the middle of nowhere feels safe, peaceful. But as soon as she turns off the main road towards the coast, the same tightness clamps around her chest. And when she arrives in the tiny town with its row of small shops and sees the jetty reaching out over the Indian Ocean, the yearning returns. Being in Sandy Bay brings back grief. Guilt and shame she refuses to accept any longer. She's found stories of other women. She's not the only one. For years she thought she was the only one to have been so wicked. Now she knows there's a whole history of wickedness that was inflicted on young girls like herself. The shame has lifted. But grief has its own agenda. She is powerless against it. And the anger, she refuses to let that go. She has a right to keep hold of anger. The cruelty of what happened to her, the unremitting blame, the agony of hours of labour without any medication, and after the birth, the assault of the syringe filled with mind-numbing drugs and something to dry up her milk, her powerlessness to stop them, to stop herself from lapsing into unconsciousness. And then the emptiness of indescribable loss, most of all the loss, her baby stolen. Yes, she will hold that anger. It makes her determined to find him despite the odds.
Hi, thanks for watching. We hope you're enjoying our interviews and book readings. And if you are, please leave us a comment. Tell us what your favourite book genres are. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll never miss out on any new content as soon as we post it.